What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with that real boxing thing, the boxing clinic, you dig. And reportedly, well, out of the horse's mouth pretty much, a boxing article, I'll leave the link in the description. Wladimir Klitschko turned down $20 million in a rematch versus Anthony Joshua. The potential earning was $20 million he turned down. And that's somebody who's able to walk away from $20 million that has a life outside of boxing, who's prepared for life outside of boxing, which many, boxers, I'd probably say in the 70, 80 percentile were not ready to retire from boxing. Always let boxing retire them because their money and their business wasn't in order. And Klitschko was a guy who I believe had like a PhD or something like that and has business ventures, K2, and has a life after boxing. He was able to resist the temptation of $20 million, and that's a stand-up guy and a guy with a plan. And one of my favorite heavyweights of all time, because I grew up in that era. I didn't care if it was boring, but he was one of my favorites. I had 1,000 of reasons to agree to a rematch and the same number of reasons to finish my career, but at the time of making the decision, a part of me was already dead. I noticed that the motivation was not at the level even possible to, at that level, even the possible $20 million that could earn for the rematch with Joshua could not change my opinion. If I continued to fight only because of the money, I would be deceiving myself, Klitschko said. And that's a real dude. A lot of dudes still in the game, and they've been lost the love for boxing, football, basketball, soccer, whatever it is, especially a contact sport. And once they get that money and fame and that notoriety and that publicity, a lot of them lose the love of the sport. They lose the root, why they love the sport. A lot of guys love the sport to get out of poverty, to get their families a better life. And once they get that better life, they content. They don't want to be great, and the great ones want to be great despite the money that's coming in. They always got the eye on the prize of being great and not just the cash. And Klitschko is one of those guys that, obviously wanted to be great. It was obviously good to make some cash and make some money in the sport, but money was not the motivator at this point in his career, and that's good. A lot of guys get to the the end of their career, the money is the motivator, it's the main thing. They blew a lot of money dancing in the club, didn't invest their money the right way, got fucked out of money through their accountants and Ponzi schemes and bullshit schemes of that nature. Excuse my French, but they still got to fight for that money. Well, it seems that Klitschko has his taxes, his business and affairs, and he's set up for life after boxing, and big ups to him. I know it crushed Anthony Joshua heart that, he was going to have to go ahead and fight Puev or Luis Ortiz, but, he's a young man, and hopefully he can have his, life right after the sport of boxing like Klitschko did. He has the potential to make a lot of money and be a global icon as well, and, we'll see how it turns out for him, but good for Klitschko. Happy retirement. We gone.